We begin our coronavirus coverage here in Nigeria. The virus is now in Rivers State, south of the country. The state recorded its first case on Wednesday. Now the total confirmed cases in the country is 51, with Lagos and the Federal Capital Territory each recording 2 new cases. Of the 51 cases, Lagos now has 32, the FCT 10, Ogun State 3, while Ekiti, Oyo, Edo, Bauchi, Osun and Rivers have 1 case each. Information from the National Center for Disease Control, NCDC, says that as at 11:25 p.m. on March the 25th, 3 of the latest 5 cases are travelers returning into Nigeria, while 2 are close contacts of a confirmed case. A breakdown of the confirmed cases shows that Lagos now has 30, the FCT 8, Ogun 3, and Ekiti, Oyo, Edo, Bauchi, and Osun have 1 case each. Meanwhile, the Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Ehanire, has confirmed that indeed an aide to President Muhammadu Buhari tested positive to coronavirus and he is being treated at one of the facilities in the country, but he did not disclose the identity of the patient. Dr. Ehanire was speaking at a news conference in the nation's capital, Abuja, days after news went viral that the chief of staff to the president may have tested positive. Aside the confirmation, the minister also warned against self-medication and cautions against the use of chloroquine.
An aide who tested positive is receiving treatment in a secure facility. He does not need category 4 treatment. He requires only a general medical treatment. The contact tracing has been very efficiently done, and I'll use the opportunity to also tell you that there are what you call close contacts, and there's also what you call casual contact, and there's what you call distant contact. Distant contact is a no contact. Like this gentleman, like you and me now, is like no contact. Okay? Okay. There's casual contact that maybe you shook hands. And then there's close contact when you sat together head to head and had a conversation or a long conversation or whatever. So you differentiate between those ones. So if you're looking at the casual contact and also the distant contact, if you call it that way, maybe we just see each other from a distance, those ones are not critical. So those contacts have been done and the tests have been carried out. We use a test kit that is sanctioned, approved, and in fact to a large extent supplied by the World Health Organization. So it's approved, and we insist on that. There are many vendors who are offering us test kit from here, from left, from right. We use WHO accredited test kit because the result you get has to be reliable, and it has to be dependable. It has to meet all the criteria for protecting our citizens. So there are people who are developing what they call rapid test kit. And the rapid test kit, they are testing other parameters. And those are the ones that are said not to be reliable, those ones. But we don't use that one here. We're not using those rapid test kits. So some of those rapid test kits are said to be unreliable, and they have not been verified by the World Health Organization. They have not been validated until they are valid. In fact, the manufacturers will tell you, when you use this rapid test kit, go and do the real test to confirm. So why do double test when one is not reliable?
Let's have updates from Lagos State now. Ikeja Underbridge and Computer Village in the city's capital are on lockdown following the directive of the state government. A few of the traders hanging around refused to speak on camera but had a lot to say, bordering on the assistance from government. The sentiments at the Computer Village is echoed at the Ladipo Motor Parts Market. The traders want the government to provide them with free face masks, gloves and sanitizers. Our correspondent Neota Egbe tells us more.
On a normal day, this road will be very busy and boisterous with all manner of people running their businesses here. Those buying and selling will be along here. But today, it's all shut down. The shops are locked, but you find out that there are a lot of vehicles moving around, yet the buyers and the sellers are not available. A closer look at the Computer Village axis in Ikeja shows a complete shutdown of shops. Although the vendors appear to have complied with the state government's directive, many still hang around in clusters. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps officials move around to ensure compliance.
All the shops are closed, so we are moving from one place to another to check it out.
The traders and store owners are the ones bearing the brunt. The market head of the Computer Village says everyone will comply.
It started today. I know a lot of people, some people might not even hear about the compliance, but we know that we're going to shut everywhere down in Computer Village as the directives of the Lagos state government.
People might still decide to stay on. They might not decide to stay back at home. That was why we are on ground.
We also make a stop at the Ladipo market in Oshodi area. The gates are locked as well.
They are doing this thing to protect the spread of this virus, you understand? But as they close the shops, to help us for the spreading of virus, they're supposed to do something.
If you go walk down the street to buy this nose mask or to buy sanitizer, they will tell you sanitizer is like 500 naira, 1,000. Okay, nose mask they used to share. Instead of them to share it, they will tell you are going to buy like 500. So what's the necessity of you shutting down the market if you can't provide for us?
The lockdown of these markets would definitely mean huge financial losses to the shop owners and discomfort for the buyers. But then, it's health above all else. Neil Taigbe, reporting for Channels Television News.
And Tunisia has announced 59 new cases of coronavirus, bringing the country's total number to 173. Health Minister Abdelatif Meki says the latest cases were identified during 229 new tests. The minister is appealing to people to adhere to the terms of the lockdown in the country. He also criticizes people who have violated the self-quarantine rules. Tunisia imposed a nationwide lockdown that came into effect on Sunday. Its airspace and land borders have been closed since last week. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has announced a 14-day ban on public transport to curb the spread of the coronavirus. In a televised address on Wednesday, Mr. Museveni said the ban will take effect immediately. This includes the ubiquitous borders, as the motorcycle taxis are locally known. Private cars will only be allowed to carry 3 passengers, including the driver. Uganda has confirmed 14 cases of coronavirus, including an 8-month-old baby girl. Now, members of parliament in Kenya are considering whether to follow the example of President Uhuru Kenyatta by accepting a temporary pay cut in response to the coronavirus. The MPs are among the highest paid in Africa. However, the speakers of National Assembly and Senate have announced a personal pay cut of 30% for 3 months. Meanwhile, the country has banned the importation of second-hand clothes, popularly known as mitumba, as a way of limiting the spread of the virus. Kenyan journalist Teddy Otieno speaks more on the situation of things in the country.
Kenya has just confirmed 3 more cases of the coronavirus, raising the total to 28. Well, President Uhuru Kenyatta has actually ordered 100% tax relief on incomes when it comes to individuals earning less than 24,000 shillings. Of course, as part of the raft of measures to prop the economy. The president also ordered a daily curfew, which is actually the big one here, ordering the daily curfew countrywide starting at 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. effective Friday. Is also called on Kenyans to limit their movement to essential service providers. In addition to that, the president has also taken an 80% pay cut, including his deputy William Ruto. Cabinet secretaries and chief administrative secretaries are also taking a 30% pay cut, whereas principal secretaries will take a 20% cut amid the coronavirus pandemic. Despite that, there was an early confirmation by the government spokesperson Cyrus Oguna on reports of imminent lockdown in Kenya over the coronavirus, terming them as false. He urged Kenyans to disregard as fake news the reports spreading on social media. Reporting from Nairobi, Kenya, I'm Teddy Otieno.